Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Divi pre-made layouts on your website. So here we are on just one of the pages that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new page for some services or like a work with me page. So what I'm going to do is come up here to the top where it says new and there's a little plus sign and come down to page. And it will bring you here, and this is where you will add in the title of your page. So we are going to title this Work With Me. And then in the center here, I'm going to choose Use Divi Builder. And then you'll get these three options here. So you can build from scratch. I have a whole video on that. I will link below if you haven't seen. You can choose a pre-made layout, which is what we're going to do today, or you can clone an existing page, which is very handy if you like a certain layout that you have made from scratch and you want to do the same layout and just change out the information. You can go ahead and choose this clone existing page option. But today we're going to choose a pre-made layout, so we're going to go ahead and click that one. And you'll get the library here. And you'll see a ton of different pre-made layouts that are completely free and included in your Divi membership. And you can go ahead and use any of these that you'd like. I will leave a link for the Elegant Themes. They are the makers of Divi. They have a page here with all of the layouts that you can kind of explore a little bit further on your own time rather than having to do it like right in here while you're trying to make your website. So you can come over to their page and kind of click around and really find a layout that you like. So I'll leave that link below for you. But we are using the wedding planner layout for this client, and I'm going to come down and find the services page. So we're going to use this one here. And it will load. So I just chose use this layout. I think I did that kind of fast there, but it was just a green option. And then you will see it start to load on the site. And you basically just have to wait for it. And we are all good here. You'll see it start to work, and then the entire layout will load for you. And once you have this layout loaded, now what you have to do is just make this your own. So you'll want to obviously change out all of the photos, all of the copy on the page, the words on the page. You can change the fonts if you'd like or keep them the same. But it's really up to you to make this layout your own as much as you want. So you can keep as much as needed, like the colors and, like I said, the fonts and everything. But you really want to make these layouts feel custom to your business and your brand as much as possible, and go ahead and start like editing things to fit your branding. So just for an example here, we are going to be fixing up this top section here. So if we come over to the section settings, first we need to kind of see how this thing is built. So we know that the text is over here. We can hover over it and see, but we have a couple of different elements going on here, like a background color. We have an image over here to the side. So we need to see where everything is so we can edit it and make it our own. So if we come over to the section settings first, I will bet that, yep, there is a background color gradient going on back here. So if we go ahead and just delete that, you'll see that the background is gone and it's just plain. I'm going to redo that and just leave it as is because I want to do something similar for this client, but we will go ahead and change out her colors. And I'm not going to do that now. I just want to walk you through how to change everything. So if you wanted to leave this gradient, what you could do is right underneath, you can see that the two colors that they have used. So you can choose select color, and my client's colors are already added in here. And I can go ahead and select one of the colors, scroll down, come over to the other side, and select another color. Obviously this is like a bit much, so I'm going to want to play around with this a bit, but that is how you would do that. I'm just going to undo those things that I changed. And then we have our image here on the left and our text on the right. Now, I will bet that the image is in this row module. So we have our row settings here, and I am going to say that it is underneath this first column here. So if you come down, there it is. So the way that Divi is broken out is your sections, which is the entire background. Everything lives inside of the section. And then you have your row, which is telling you how the layout is structured. So if we click the three little columns, we can see that this row is 50-50. So there are two separate sections here. And since we see this one image on the left here, that is how I can kind of tell that when I click this row settings, between the two columns, that is why I could bet that the image here is going to be underneath this first column because it's 50-50, and this looks about 50-50 here. And if I click that little wheel, come down to the background, I could see it in there. Now, besides them just having an image, there's also a gradient color going on here. So that is the same thing that they had in the section background with the two colors. But this one is almost just like a little overlay. So you can see that there are colors here, but they are very transparent. So we have one here and then another one here. And they changed the gradient type. So you can go ahead and do this different ways. Like this one is more so a very like sharp line for the two. And then this one is more so transparent, and you can change the gradient direction and see how, here, move this. So if you watch the image, you can see how that gradient direction is going to change based off where we put this. So they had it at 30 degrees. So I'm just going to leave that there. And then you can also change the gradient type to be linear or radial. So now we have it more so circular, with the center being one of the colors and then it going out to the other color. I'm just going to leave it how they had it. And below that, you'll see that there is this place gradient above background image selected. If that was not selected, that gradient wouldn't show up. So we have to make sure that it's selected so the gradient goes on top of the image. Now to change the image, you would just make sure you are on the image tab and you see it there. Click the little wheel and you can go ahead and come to your media library if you have photos already uploaded, or if not, you can go back to that upload tab and select your file and upload it there. And then we have our text. So if we hover over the text and see the little wheel icon, you can come down and see the different text that we have going on. So our packages and pricing is here, and that is under heading 5. Planning services is here under H1, heading 1. And then the little kind of tagline bit there, full and partial event planning, is under heading 6. And noting the different headings is really important because that is how they have all of this text in one box, but having different styles. When it's when all the text is the same style, like your paragraph text, or if these were all H1 or all H6, you can't change the style per line unless you put them in separately. but having them all here together and the headings separate, so again, H5, H1, and then H6, we can go ahead and control the design of each one of these separately. So if we come over to the Design tab, we can come down to Heading Text, because they are all headings, and we can see highlighted H1, H5, and H6. So if we wanted to change H1, which is the planning services, if we wanted to change the color of that text, we could. So make it a little, her yellow here. And then if we wanted to come over to H5 and we want to change that text and make it green, we can do that. And then if we wanted to change H6, we can go ahead and do that. It's a similar color, but let's do a coral. So there you have it. You can change all of those pieces of text individually because they all have different text differentiators, being H5, H1, and H6. So this is also where you would change the text here. So you can update and go ahead and save that. And we are good. That is what I wanted to show you on how to upload the pre-made layouts and how you can go ahead and update them to match your own brand and really make these pre-made layouts a little bit more custom to you without having to build things from scratch.